People of the verse, hello and welcome to the channel. It's the Eradicator, and today I'm afraid that the CIG has been eradicated by Kotaku. There's an article that was released about a day ago. There you go, July 28, 2020 at 10:28 a.m. I have no idea. What was it? 10:28 a.m. my time or the writer's time? Probably the writer's time. It's not really important anyway, and it is about even Star Citizen fans are getting sour about Squadron 42, and this is an article that makes a lot of seriously good points. So much so that you are going to see that CIG even replied here today at 10:16 a.m. So that is very interesting developments here, and we are going to see what they are going to talk about here. And obviously it's going to be about Squadron 42, which I've already criticized CIG's management here of Squadron 42, the fact that we're not getting updates, the fact that there's too much secrecy is killing secrecy, if you see what I mean, right? So I'm glad that some kind of so-called mainstream media, or at least in the video game industry, right, like a mainstream gaming website is talking about that, because it is creating some unfortunately necessary bad press. CIG needs to react. CIG needs to step up their game when it comes to communications with backers. So here we go. Star Citizen fans might possibly be the most patient group of humans in the universe. Thank you so much, Alex Walker. That is true. We are very patient indeed. Not only have they tolerated one of the longest and loudest development cycles for a game in history, they've continually poured out their wallets to make the space epics feature creep a reality, making Star Citizen the most expensive game in history. That's right. And this is where people like Alex Walker don't really understand what it is about to be a Star Citizen backer. You are not sure, we back for the game, but it's not just that. It's the experience of being part of the process of making something that has never been done before. It takes time, it's hard, it does indeed require a lot of patience, but in the end, as far as I'm concerned, I am very happy with all the money that I have spent, and even if eventually Star Citizen ends up being a failure and Squadron 42 never gets released, I think that overall, given the whole experience that I've had since 2012, I've had my money's worth. It's just my personal opinion. I know that a lot of you guys will disagree, and that's totally fine. If you do disagree, though, please do it in a respectful manner. Alright, but even the diehards have their limits. That is also true. A thread on the official Citizen Hub Reddit has been gaining a lot of steam over the last 72 hours. The main point of contention? A promise made by the Star Citizen developers earlier this year to include more Squadron 42, that's the single-player focused offshoot of Star Citizen, for those who haven't kept track, content into their regular updates. That's true. What did we have regarding Squadron 42? We have the monthly reports. Yeah, that's not new. And we had one video about that com array, the Aceto com array. That's it. That's pretty much it. And that video wasn't even telling much about Squadron 42, so it kind of was a little bit lackluster, if you'd ask me. I want to see an update on the vertical slice, for example. Why haven't we seen anything like the vertical slice since 2017? Here was the specific promise from Clan Imperium Games back in March, guys. March, days before the whole planet went into lockdown. So here they give us they give us basically the pitch that we were going to have a Squadron 42 video. So that they would be giving more updates. That's totally fine. I'll put the link in the description down below, guys, if you want to view to have a look at all of the different quotes that the writer here put in the article. The impact of the post meant that the public Squadron 42 updates were suddenly a lot less public. While regular communication on Star Citizen continued, the baggers received monthly Squadron 42 news through email newsletter. The extra communication and visibility on Squadron 42's release has never emerged. That is true. That is true, and everything so far so good. Everything that they are saying here is true. I don't want to see this. Next, so this is an extract here of the monthly reports. That's fine. Given Star Citizen's history of oversharing more than any developers before them, the sudden lack of clarification has gotten backers unsurprisingly a bit upset. Some aggravated users went as far as to put together an Ingram album of quotes from Star Citizen executives, including Chris Roberts, alerts outlining promises and timelines quoted over the past several years. The Discord has been growing on the official Star Citizen forums too. Man, that is true. Every day, if you go to Spectrum, on the general tabs of Spectrum, every day you have a video like, it's been 123 days since we were promised the Squadron 42 video and it's still not there, you know, and every day they put another thread. That's true. There is kind of a... Spectrum is kind of a dumpster fire over the lack of communication regarding Squadron 42. That is also true. A couple of quotes here. There's a long series of quotes here that the writer put together. Concerns around Star Citizen development have been rising within the Star Citizen community for a little while. A lengthy post last week from a senior software developer has reticulated by Star Citizen Update and reticulated by Star Citizen Update channel Board Gamer below. Man, Board Gamer, if you're watching this video, Board Gamer, please tell me how much increase of traffic you've had from this link. I would be very interested in knowing how positive of an impact this has on a YouTube channel. Anyway, so Board Gamer, congratulations for the quote here, man. So outline some of the glaring issues the community has with the level of bugs in Star Citizen's persistence universe. And this is a quote here. I will read the quote. On top of that, the game is so broken that it's barely playable. That is not true. That is not true. A senior software developer. Are you actually a senior software developer at CIG? I would like to know. The PTU is broken. That's true. But the regular game is also broken. But it is playable. I have no idea what this person probably doesn't play the game. If bugs were hotfixed and the overall gameplay experience were more polished and more stable during the current alpha, I could almost guarantee there would be more players pledging ships. But what are you talking about? There are plenty of players pledging ships. We're having a record year. See, that's what I'm talking about. And that's where, you know, those journalists at mainstream medias are always failing. They're not doing their research because you can debunk everything that this guy is saying here. No, the game is not broken. I've been able what breaks the game are the 30k errors, but if you want to do combat, you can totally do combat. If you want to do anything else than trading, it just works fine. So that's not true. That's not true. Which would mean more money to spend on development. We're having a record year. We are probably going to earn $100 million this year if we continue doing this good. So I don't know what this guy is talking about here. Which will mean the dream to be fully realized, and it's coming a lot true. Blah, 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 blah. Alright, so Star Citizen bugs woes aren't unique to the space MMO, but the level of communication Cloud Imperium games have maintained over the last several years have left it in a unique quandary. The developer still communicates vastly more than really just about any other developer does. That's the nature of the project. That's true. And when your company is still raising millions of dollars every month amidst a global recession and pandemic, fans are going to get even crankier. That's true. That's true. Star Citizen, you know, CIG is making so much money. We definitely want to have higher expectations. Absolutely. Absolutely. And this is where I think CIG has failed. Communication has not improved, and especially regarding Squadron 42, we are still as dark as we've ever been. Something that's not mentioned in a lot of these complaints is what the impact of the sanitary situation might have or might still be having on development. But to be fair, it's also something that hasn't been addressed in the last 4 Squadron 42 email updates. That's a lot of granular detail on individual bits of text animation, reduction in direct function calls, fixes to performance regressions, working on technical debt, and all of the nitty-gritty that goes into development for a AAA title. There's just more of the detail that really matters the most, a release date. And given how the last few months have gone, it doesn't seem like one will emerge anytime soon. Squadron 42 entered the year with, if not a promise, then a hopeful target of launching by the end of the year. It will be perfectly understandable for that target to be missed because the disease has thrown everyone's plan into disarray. All that's left for Cloud Imperium Games to do is to tell people, but in a way that's also the problem, because yeah, they've been sometimes they speak a little bit too much, or they are not realistic. Anyway, this was quite overall quite an accurate article that does touch on something that really annoys a lot of backers: the lack of communication from CIG. So much so that CIG through Xylo here actually posted something. I don't know if this post was planned or if this is a direct response to that Kotaku article, but hey, I'm saying that the Kotaku article was published a day ago, and I'm saying that this was published today, so this looks like a response to me. Xylo, if you're watching this video, and if I am wrong, please contact me or leave a message in the comment section down below, because that's also something that we'd like to know. So here's what Xylo says here. Hi everyone. When we realized that our old roadmap didn't represent our development progress very well, we started exploring options for how to build something more informational that will fit how we develop games. Our original message about this was one in March's roundups, and we followed up with hints about this in our Squadron 42 focused calling all devs on March 13th. Yeah, March 13th, and today we are July 29th, so that was a long time ago. We mentioned then that we are happy with Squadron 42 development and committed to a few things I'd like to bring up again. We talked about injecting more Squadron 42 content into our regular scheduled release, which is why you may have noticed things like a Squadron 42 themed episode. Yeah, the Squadron 42 themed episode, only one. Or the insights, yeah, okay, there's an S here. All the insights starts in the updates on Vandal ships, gas take, a deeper look at the Acido comm array, and other related content. Oh, really? What other related content? And this was all alongside our monthly reports, March, April, May, and June. One of the important elements to messaging Squadron 42 updates has also been to raise awareness that the work completed for Star Citizen is also work done for Squadron 42. The only content that's exclusively Squadron 42 are people, places, and plot, and we don't want to spoil those. Look, and this is where I strongly disagree. We already have a 1 hour vertical slide from 2017. This is not spoiler. It's already been spoiled. So how about only showing stuff, updates from that vertical slide, how it has gotten better, how it has improved, and how all of these developments that have been done have improved that particular part of the Squadron 42 campaign when you're getting into the coil and investigating that missing Starfarer. Why don't you do that? With all Squadron 42 updates, our goal has been to find balance in sharing Squadron 42 content while minimally impacting the development teams so that they can focus on what really matters the most, finishing the game. That is indeed what matters the most. The recent Squadron 42 video update, which is a brand new show we are debuting called The Briefing Room, was a lower effort video that we embarked on with the goal of sharing more information with you, but in a scrappy and fast manner, so to minimize disruption to the dev team and yet still give you new information. The recent Squadron 42 video, what are you talking about here, Xylo? That video has never been released. It's not a recent Squadron 42 update. It's like a supposedly recent, but it's not there. It's not there. We planned for this to be a semi-regular show with the cadence depending on how well the content was received and how disruptive or not the first episode would be to our dev team. This first episode was meant to focus specifically on updates on our conversation, on how they forgot the word here, on how our conversation interrupt tech and level design in Squadron 42. What we discovered after the whole piece was finished and was getting ready for publish was that our approach resulting in an underwhelming show. Who cares? Who cares? Seriously, Tyler, who cares about if the show is underwhelming? We just want to have something to chew on. Just give it to us. Not only did the episode have major audio issues due to work from home recording, that's not important. Who cares? People would understand that. But it lacked visuals to support the talking. That's also... Who cares as well? Just give us something. And we truly prefer to show rather than tell. Ultimately, we decided that it wasn't good enough to show even for a scrappy video that wasn't meant to be marketing sizzle trailer. However, before that stop ship message could permit our entire marketing org, we had moved forward with a public publish date. Yeah, unfortunately, right? But it should have released it anyway and say, hey, you know, we know that the quality is not great, but given the ongoing situation, that's the best we can do. People would have understood. Backers would have been, would totally have gotten it, you know, that it's hard to work from home. That's totally okay. That's totally okay. Originally, we thought we could simply splice in fresh B-roll, but as we spent the next few days reviewing the show, we saw the need to update our visuals to better reflect what we were discussing. And that led to the realization that we still didn't have the right footage at our quality bar to tell the story we wanted to tell. So we ended up deciding reshooting the entire episode with our usual qualities to blah 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 blah. Just give it at some point. Yeah, that's enough, right? That's enough. It's been 100 and something days. You're just embarrassing yourself here. As mentioned, the briefing room was never meant to be such a disruption to the team. Yeah, that was quite a disruption. It seems like it was really. That's why you should have released it on the first place. How disturbed was the team because of all of these rework? That is plain stupid to me. I'm sorry. This is really stupid. It's a waste of time for us, the backers, who have been waiting for that video. It's a waste of time for the devs who certainly have something else to do. You should have released the video, no matter how you think the quality does not reflect your standard, blah, 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 blah. All of that is BS. All of that is BS. The briefing room was never meant to be such a disruption to the team that we would prioritize footage for the show above our internal milestones for development. Therefore, our Squadron 42 art team could only work on capturing new footage after normal work hours. Add to the mix that key personnel were actually out sick for over a week. There we go again, right? Oh, that's because staff was sick. Yeah, we've seen that before with the delay of some with the delay of some quarterly patches for over a week, and it kind of you know what, that's totally fine if they are sick, totally fine. But tell us, tell us so you can see our schedule kept getting pushed back further and further. It's okay, you could have told us before. We can understand it can happen that people get sick. Why do you tell us 120 plus days after the announcement? This is ridiculous. We've certainly communicated the delays and reasons for it. Well, not enough, because I don't remember. I just remember a few brief posts, but that was about it. And even had Brian Chambers relay the news initially in our CMs with our CMs repeating that message when the topic cropped up multiple times. We've had to do that a couple of times over the past weeks, and unfortunately, the plain truth was always the same. The initial video didn't meet our standards, and we are redoing it. That's a meme. I can see the memes flowing here with that. We didn't get into such detail as sick personnel, nor did we explicitly spell out that the video footage couldn't leapfrog actual dev work in our priority list. After all, we don't like to make excuse, but it's clear that the confluence of the prolonged delay to the briefing room and the lack of new information, because there was none, created angst among the community. Ha, you bet. You bet it did, right? Well, it's not an excuse. People, tell us when people are sick. Hey, we're gonna have a delay of a week or two because that man is sick and he was supposed to be in the video. People understand that. People can be patient, but you have to be more transparent. Something that is often not seen externally is the actual amount of time and effort it takes to put together the video content that we regularly release. Yeah, but how much money do we give you, CIG, through our subscriptions, so that you can hire the staff that can only focus? So you can hire files that only needs to focus on putting up those videos. Or maybe that money isn't spent the way it's supposed to be spent. I really wonder. Delivering the updates to the standards we want takes time, and despite those saying that they would be fine with a rough cut of talking heads, I think that a lot of us would be fine. We get endless complaints when that's what we deliver. Really? Who complains about that? Examples being that the monthly report or linked examples above are quickly dismissed and forgotten. That's not true. Can you give us an example, Xylo? How are monthly reports dismissed and forgotten? A lot of I'm not the only one, but a lot of content creators are talking about them on their YouTube channels, and sometimes we use the information that from those monthly reports for several weeks. Sometimes we refer to what was written in monthly reports for weeks. We can create. Sometimes those monthly reports can give us an entire week of content when it comes to YouTube videos. So I think that Xylo here has no idea what he's talking about. He's just It's just, he says we don't like to make excuses. These definitely look like excuses to me. The Squadron 42 video is still coming, probably in the next few weeks, or in the next few months, along with an assortment of other updates, including an overall to our public roadmap. That's what we'll be talking about here. The new roadmap is something we hinted in March, but because it is still very much in development, we can't share as much as we'd like. Believe me when I say that I'm personally eager to release it to you. We took the time to explore options for how we could better represent our progress, and I believe that we are getting closer to landing in a pretty great spot. Our goal with this new roadmap is to give you better visibility into what teams are working on, share the progress and more teams, and so far as to indicate the size of the projects for our tech. This is something that Star Citizen Leaks talked about a couple of weeks ago. By the way, I made a video about it as well, how the new roadmap is going to go in detail about each individual tasks that are going to be needed to be done for each of the cards on the roadmap. This new roadmap will drastically change how we follow the development progress for both Squadron 42 and Star Citizen. The new roadmap will focus more on breaking out teams and features so you can interactively see what is being worked on across all teams, as opposed to what features will make X release. While it's not quite ready, it's currently top priority on the web team's current projects. In the immediate future, we plan to deliver the following communications. Number one, give an explanation of the goals of our new roadmaps and what to expect from it. Show a rough mock-up of the proposed new roadmap. I can totally see that in inside Star Citizen, guys. Mark my words. I would be. I would bet my computer that this is going to make it into an Inside Star Citizen, at least one, maybe several Inside Star Citizen episodes. Show a rough mock-up of the proposed new roadmap. Share a work-in-progress version of the roadmap for at least one of our core teams, and finally transition to this roadmap. We'll approach them in the order above, and we'll likely need a few weeks between steps, so I don't want to create the impression that this is happening overnight, but we should be announcing step 1 pretty soon if my meeting on Thursday about this is as good as I think it will be. That's a lot of excuses to me. Sorry, Tyler, you have not convinced me. I think that you still should have released that video. You know, release the rough video. You should have released the rough video, and then, if you were not happy about it, make another video of the quality that you wanted. But at least you should have given the backers something, and you failed to do that. And I think that one of the comments here from Audio Class here on Spectrum is absolutely fantastic. Totally reflects what I think. I'll give an upvote here. 44 of the people also voted this. Why did you get? When did you get any of your homework done over the last 2 months, Timmy? But mommy, I didn't feel good for 1 whole week. But Timmy, that's only 1 week. Why didn't you say anything after? But mommy, I did tell you. Remember when I said I'd get it on later? I didn't have the kind of the right kind of paper. This is like a talking about the footage, right? But you could have used any paper, Timmy, and I didn't. It didn't have to be college rules. But mommy, I always use college rules paper. If I use plain paper, I'd be embarrassed, even if it meant getting your homework done on time. That's going to be the final word of this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. There was also a new patch, Star Citizen 3.10R, that fixes a couple of interesting annoying bugs here. Ground vehicles stopping doors, security scan now recognizing drugs on board of player ship. This was a bug that was in since the beginning of the PTO process. Glad that this was finally done. And the list of known issues here is getting dramatically smaller, so that's good to see. We're having less blockers. I'm pretty sure that very soon we're gonna have the PTU open to all waves. That's all for this video, guys. A pretty long one today. Thank you so much for watching. Very soon, today's the 29th, very soon we're gonna have our giveaway contest, so don't forget to hit that subscribe button and comment to every videos posted this month if you want to be entering the 2 giveaways. I'm giving away $50 and $25 as well in RSI gift cards. As all you have to do is to be a subscriber of the channel and to comment to every videos posted this month. That's all for this video. This is the fourth time I say it, I know. Thank you so much for watching. This is the Eradicator. I'll see you guys later.